everybody, this is Sachin Singh and you are again watching me on Finest Pictures, and once again we are back with yet another exciting episode. And today, look whom we have got. This is Edward. You already know Edward. I don't have to give extra introduction about him. So what I'll do is, since now you have also become a very good host and you're becoming slowly popular in India, I closely follow your show, Epic Channel show.
Cool.
So why don't you do an introduction for this video?
Okay.
Again. Yeah.
Alright everybody, welcome to Sachin's show, where he gets to the bottom of what's going on with the people that you want to know what is going on at the bottom of those people. Yeah.
Okay, great. So let's start with a quick introduction about Edward. Who Edward is really a person?
What do you want to know?
From where you are, how did you land up in India? And
the whole thing.
Yes.
So general. Okay, let's try not to ramble here. So about sometime in the early 2000s. What do we call those? The aughts? I think we call it that. So I saw my first Bollywood film. I'd never been to India. I didn't know much about India. Didn't know anything about Bollywood. It was Lagan, and it just blew me away. It just really did. This is a true story, and it just changed my life. After that moment, I just started watching all the Bollywood movies I could. I started teaching myself Hindi. I started reading about India. I watched must have been almost 200 Bollywood movies by that, and then so by the time I got to India to travel and really experience the country firsthand, I was already speaking a little Hindi and knew my way around Bollywood dialogues. I was better in those days than I am now. I'm living in the movie now, so I'm not watching the movies anymore. So I had a great experience, and that was 2005, a long time ago. I traveled around for 8 months. I did a lot of sadhana too at that point. That was also a big reason I was drawn to it. It wasn't just Bollywood. It was the spiritual juice of this country that really drew me, I think, more than anything. And once I got here, I just realized I'm more comfortable here than I am anywhere else. I don't know, Raj speech the Janamka, or something like that is going on, because I'm more comfortable in India than I am in America, the place of my birth. So I came back to America, and for 2 years all I wanted to do was come back. So I did come back, but I was like, what am I going to do in India? I got to figure out a way to make a living. I love acting, and I never had the guts to do it in Hollywood. It's so competitive, it's so brutal. You know what it's like in this industry. It's tough, right? You gotta have a lot of balls. So I didn't have those kind of balls at that time to do it in Hollywood, but I thought, I love India, I want to live in India, I got to figure out a way, I got to find some balls, and I did. And I figured there's also a niche. It was like a calculated risk, right? A calculated leap of faith to try and make a living as an actor in India. That's how I would, do my rosy working. And it just all eventually fell into place. It's 10 years now since I came to Mumbai to seek my fortune, and I'm doing really well in India, not just as an actor, a voice artist as well, as a husband and a father. Those were things I didn't expect at all when I came down. I didn't come looking to find a wife, start a family, or anything. It just happened. It's amazing. It's awesome. I'm very lucky to be married to the woman I'm married to, and to have the son I have, and to live in the city I live in, and to have the job I have as an actor and a voice artist. It's really a case of someone just following their heart, abandoning all reason, just leaving their whole life in America. By the way, I was a chef in America for 15 years. I forgot that part. I just forgot my life back in America completely. So yeah, I was a cook. I don't even cook anymore.
Okay.
I'm just here and doing what I do now, and it's
So when did you came to India? How did people receive you? What was your experience?
Indians love foreigners, man. I mean, you know that. Everybody knows that. It's an awesome place to be a traveler, to be a guest, to be an expat, to be an immigrant. For me, certainly. Let's be honest. It helps being a white foreigner. I think, but that's a whole that's a whole discussion right there. But basically, Atiti Devo Bhava is something that is alive and well, and you find it, every day. Even now, just like I think, this is my home. I'm a Mumbaiker. I live in Andheri. I've been in Andheri for like 10 years now, and this is my home. I feel at home here. But still, I feel like everywhere I go, there's like special, kind of guest kind of treatment and stuff I get. So obviously, I'm taking full advantage of that. And it's not fair, and I don't care.
So Edward, when you started your acting journey, did you actually thought that I'm gonna pursue career in acting, or it happened vicariously?
No, that was the idea. I was like, shit, man, I'm just gonna be an actor. This is what I'm gonna do. So I got some pictures clicked, and I started, just like calling people and networking and finding out how to do it. See, I've been acting my whole life, like all through college. I was doing like plays and stuff, and theater, and then just always keeping it like alive in me, But professionally, like getting paid for it, that had never happened before.
Okay.
And in college, like I studied botany. I was a biologist, which I never pursued professionally. It was just something I wanted to learn about. See, in America, we get to do that. It's tremendous privilege to just be able to study what you want without thinking about, am I going to be able to make a living with this when I graduate? So, by the time I graduated, I was making a living as a chef. I just kept doing that. I was happy doing that until I, got the India heat up.
Okay, let's talk about Firangi. Since Firangi was a big event for you, right? It was
For sure, yeah.
It was like a very big movie for you.
Yeah.
So how was that experience with working with Kapil ji and then going to Punjab and exploring most very specific parts of India?
I had such a great time shooting for Firangi. Got to go to first in Kapurthala in Punjab, where there was this amazing sort of mansion-like campus with just like the furniture and the tapestries and stuff from like 200 years ago are still there. And it's part of this university, and they're just like it's just there. And I guess they use it for shoots, but basically it's just there. Like stuff worth like crores and crores and crores. Is just like on a desktop. These lamps and these tables and furniture. So it was good fun there. Then the amazing set that they built out of mud in outside of where was it in Punjab? By that river and the mountains and everything. And I had my son with me for a while, and he was like in the theme park. He was in Disneyland. Because there was like goats and camels and horses and everything, and these amazing mud structures, that village that they built. It was good fun. Then putting us up in palaces in Rajasthan, at Bikaner and Gajner and stuff. It was great. I had a great time. And the work itself, I was shooting, wasn't I? Was amazing. I got to do some comedy. I got to work with a couple. He's great to work with. He's a great presence on set. Just kind of lifts everybody's spirits, and whatever he's going through, it's like you don't know. He's just like doing his job and very professional. He gives his shoulder shots. Like he doesn't have a double or anything.
Okay.
He's not like some big like superstar. Like my experience of him and what we experienced of him on set was like he was just completely down to earth and completely committed to his film.
So we saw that episode where while promoting, you guys had shot one episode for TV.
Okay.
We saw that you have developed a very good chemistry with Mr. Kapil.
Yeah, we had some good fun.
It was very good fun.
Yeah, totally. So that was great. I was so thrilled to get a chance to do some stand-up comedy.
Okay.
In Hindi, which I do stand-up comedy. I've never it's never been a big part of my repertoire. I just haven't had the time to devote to it. And it takes a lot of time to really get established. But I do like corporate gigs, or I do just like little things here and there. But this was a great chance to do like stand-up comedy on a couple Sharma show. So he was like, yeah, do it, go for it. But it's a Hindi show, right?
Right.
So if I do it in English, they're just gonna cut it in the edit, right? Completely. Which they did. They cut about like like 70% of of my set.
Okay.
Is about like 25% of it actually made it to the episode, but just that chance to like do it in Hindi. So I just like, I mean, मुझे हिंदी आती है, आप लोगों को मालूम होगा कि मुझे हिंदी तो आती है, लेकिन इतनी अच्छी नहीं है, जैसे स्टैंड अप कॉमेडी हिंदी में कर सकता हूँ. वो दूसरा लेवल है ना, तो बहुत प्रैक्टिस करना पड़ा मुझे. और दिमाग एकदम खराब हो गया. वो it was a lot of work for me to get to the point where I felt confident I could do my whole set in Hindi. So I did a 10-minute set, got cut down to like whatever it was, 2 minutes or whatever, but it was good fun, and people really responded, because like एक गोरा हिंदी बोलने वाले गोरा को सुन के बहुत खुश हो जाते हैं. Like it's too easy actually. Like उससे ज़्यादा कुछ काम नहीं करना पड़ेगा मुझे. It's too easy, but I took full advantage. I don't care, I'll do it.
So what do we expect from Edward in future? Like you're doing some Netflix, some web series, some movies. What are your future plans?
You hear my voice on TV all the time doing ads and stuff, although you never know it. And when I tell people about that, they don't care. It's like I show people my videos, they're like, okay, great. So what was it like in film? So the web series Bo's Dead or Alive, something I'm very proud of, is still there, still getting a lot of views on Alt Balaji app. Okay. It's an amazing series with Rajkumar Rao playing Subhash Chandra Bose, and I play the cop who's trying to catch him. It goes back and forth in time. I go from like 25 years old to 65 years old, and it's good fun. You gotta say, I can't remember Sachin.
I saw your post on Facebook.
Yeah, cool. So that is great. Firangi, when it comes out on on whatever other platforms it comes out on, I'm really looking forward to everybody getting a chance to see it there. I think it's got a lot going for it, so that'll still be there. I'm Indopedia, as you mentioned.
Correct.
Did you mention before we started?
Yes.
Shooting or
yeah. Before.
Okay. So you haven't mentioned. I host a show in Hindi called Indopedia.
Everybody knows it, by the way. You don't have to tell it.
Cool.
Epic channel is becoming really popular nowadays.
It's got amazing content. The shows on Epic are amazing. I'm very proud to be part of that. So those shows keep going on. Every Wednesday there's a new one, and we go all around the country and look at all the things about India that are just uniquely Indian, things that even Indians don't know. So it takes a foreigner sometimes, but not like a complete outsider. I'm kind of that halfway. My heart is Indian, even though my face is not Indian. So I can have kind of both perspectives. So it's a really interesting show. We have a really good time, and it's basically informative and fun. I guess that's why they call it infotainment, right?
Yes.
I'll be there in Kesari with Akshay Kumar. I think that'll probably be releasing in like a year or so.
Okay.
We're going to start shooting for that in a few days. That's the usual bad British guy, but not so bad. I think this will be definitely a character with some shades. So I'm really looking forward to work with Akshay Kumar. I never have before, and Dharma Productions. I'm there in Veere the Wedding. With
Veere the Wedding.
Yeah. So it's a story of 4 chicks. It's a chick flick. But there are guys in it, and it's a great cast. It's a great story. It's really fun. We pretty much finished shooting in Delhi already, and so I play Shikatal Sania's husband. We have a kid. And for once, I just play a regular American guy who's a nice guy.
Okay.
And he's married to an Indian, and they have a kid. It's just like me, actually. So that was good. I didn't have to oppress anybody Indian at all. Anybody, period. So that's always fun when I get those up.